Hey guys, Tommy here with Splash. Today we're going to show you how easy it is to set up a super pool. I told you we're building a studio here at Splash to create video content for you guys. So we're going to set up a pool that we're going to use in the studio. I figure I'll just give you a quick overview. This is not a detailed installation video, but just a quick overview of how the super pool goes up. This is a 9x13. I'm sitting on the liner, 2 PB boxes, which are the ends. PB stands for, I don't know. I've been here 24 years. I have no clue what PB means. And then we've got our middles. Every pool comes with 2 PBs and so many middles depending on your size. So anyway, watch this, see how easy it is. So as you're laying out your liner, you want to make sure that you know where you want your filtration equipment, because obviously that's where your electrical hookup's going to be. So you may have to spin the liner to get it where you want it. So if you see this hole right here, this is the end where your filtration equipment's going to be. This is your return, so your skimmer's going to be on the other corner. So I want my filtration equipment at that end, so we're going to spin this around. So once you get your liner unfolded and you've got it where you want it according to the filtration system, it's going to look like this. And so what we'll usually do is just take this and pull it out, just like that. So now we're going to go ahead and open one of our peanut butter boxes that have the ends in them. And the thing that's unique about these PBs is you'll see that this end is rolled in versus straight like this. Because if this were the end, it could damage the material. But by this being round, we don't have to worry about it. So this is going to go, one of these is going to go on each end. So when you're ready to start inserting the structure, you always want to start with your rounded end, your PB, and you're going to put it in this slot right here. Just kind of wiggle and push. And once you get that piece in, you're going to go to the M's or middles. Okay, so once you get the first piece of top rail in, now you're going to put in a middle. And you notice this button has to be aligned with the hole. So push the button, push, click. You see that? It's locked in. So now we shake and go again. Now since this pool only has one middle, now we've got another end piece or another peanut butter end, the PB. Same button, click into place. Push. And this one's going to go all the way in. And you're going to push it down and line up the hole. So you're going to push it all the way in. Here's the end of it. And you see I'm lining up this hole. You see all of them are now lined up. So this one's ready to go. Same thing on the other side. Okay, so we got both our side rails in, so now we're going to spread the liner out so that we can put our end rails in, okay? Perfect. So once you've got the top rails in, make sure the holes are pointed up, take your legs out and go around, put a leg in each spot around the pool. And for every 2 holes, there's going to be 1 leg, obviously. After you do that, lay out your bearing pins and your stainless steel D-rings. There'll be 2 rings per leg along with 1 pin. If it's a super pool, the Omegas don't have this. That'll be a little different. Okay, so now that you've got all your legs laid out, now you're ready to install them. If you'll notice on the inside of each leg, there's a small nipple where it goes into the top rail, and those are made to keep the legs in the top rail. You'll notice when you put it down that the leg is not as wide as the 2 holes. So you'll have to spread it out, and then that inward pressure against the nipples is what keeps it in. Before you put your legs on, make sure you put your 2 D-rings on. Just like that. And so now I'm going to put 1 in. And then I'm going to put my foot against it, and I'm going to pull this one, and it goes right in, just like that. Little hint, have someone hold this leg up while you put in the next leg, because if I lay this down, it turns all the holes into where they're down at this angle, and it makes it pretty tough to get the next leg in, okay? Once you've got all the legs in, go ahead and lay them back down on the ground. And go to the next wall. You get all the legs in, your pool should look something like this. You see, we don't have the bearing pins in yet, that's coming next. But you've got all your legs in the top rail and they're all laid down. Now you may notice that these two legs are not white. They're stainless steel. That's an upgrade we have. So I just wanted to show those, and we'll talk more about those in a later video. So at this point, you want to probably go ahead and open your box 4B, which is what most pools will come with. And it has all your plumbing, hoses, skimmer, all of that good stuff in it. Now before you stand the walls up, you probably want to go ahead and put the wall fitting on that goes to the suction point of your skimmer. So this is the hole that's at the bottom of the wall in the corner where your skimmer is. So you're going to unscrew it, take the rubber and the paper gasket off, leave one rubber on. So this will go on the inside, and then when you put it through, you're going to put on a rubber and then the paper gasket and then screw on the nut. Rubber on the inside, rubber on the outside, paper, and then the nut. So at this point, we're going to stand the pool up. Now, since this is such a small pool at 9 by 13, we're going to try to stand all the walls up at once. On a bigger pool, you would just do one wall at a time. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold what you got. All right, so you remember we put on the 2 stainless steel D-rings on the legs before we put them in, and this is why. Because now you put the stainless steel D-rings down at the bottom, and you'll notice there's 2 slits in the buttress strap. So you're going to slide that bearing pin through the strap, through a pin, through the strap, through the second pin, until you get it just like that. Now you just go around and do that to every leg. Okay, so remember we talked about putting in the skimmer suction wall fitting before you stood the walls up, and I think it's obvious why, because even I can't reach this. But if you forgot at this point, just throw a kid in there, let him do it, and you can get him out. Because it's kind of tough to step over these walls. Okay, so we got that in. Now we're going to put in the skimmer hold down fitting. Same thing, rubber on the inside, rubber and a paper on the outside. So you can just reach over the side, put it through, rubber gasket, paper gasket, and then the nut. And by the way, you'll know this is the right one because it has the Splash logo with this cap. This is where the top of the skimmer will hook up to hold it in the upright position. All right, now the only other fitting you have is your return fitting. It's the same wall fitting as the skimmer suction holes. So if you pull them out and you go, 2 of them look alike, yeah, they're exactly alike. So remember, rubber on the inside, rubber on the outside, and then paper. And then screw your nut on. And on the inside of this is where your eyeball directional will go. Now the next step is to put your ball valve on your skimmer suction wall fitting, and this is just in case you need to shut off the flow, unhook your hoses, your pumps, or anything like that. So take your ball valve out of your box 4B. Now you'll notice I have Teflon tape on this. It's not necessary, but I think it's good insurance. Cost you maybe 30 cents to get it at a box store. Okay, so take your skimmer out of your box 4B, and you'll see this long hose with the gray fitting on the end. This is the suction hose that goes on the bottom of the skimmer. So you'll need to attach these, and I recommend some type of a lubrication. We're going to use Simple Green here, which, by the way, Simple Green is an awesome product to use around your pool to clean it or whatever, because Simple Green is completely biodegradable. It will not change the chemistry of your water. So just like that, it goes on, and it's going to look like that. I'll give you a little tip here. If you'll put your foot on the ball valve, it points that wall fitting on the inside up, and so it gives you a lot easier angle to get these threads into. Now that we've got the bottom screwed in, now we're going to attach the hold down, which is the short hose. And I'm going to reach from the outside and push against this wall fitting and just screw it in. Just like that. All right, next step is just to put our skimmer basket in, put our floating weir over the top. You're done with the skimmer. All right, so guess what? We're ready for water. One thing I do want to point out is that the walls, especially on a bigger pool, are going to lean in. On a really big pool, they may even get close to touching the ground. That's completely normal. As the water enters the pool and spreads out across the bottom, it'll actually stand the walls up. So don't freak out if your walls are leaning in. Another tip is make sure that your ends are folded over the sides. And as your pool starts to fill, every once in a while you'll want to come out and just do this, which gives the sides a little room to spread out. But if you don't, they will stand themselves up. Don't worry about it. So the last thing we told you is that the pool is ready for water. But there is one more step, and the reason we didn't do it is because we're inside on a concrete floor and there's no need for it. But the splash blocks are an incredible aid to setting up your pool outside. So what you'll do when your pool is ready for water is you'll put this under each leg, one under each leg, set the leg in the center with the D-rings in the slots, and this allows the legs to move out as the pool is filling. So don't forget that. But if you're on a concrete pad, there's no need for them.